Hey, Launch Techers, it's Tracy. And I realize I've been kind of neglectful over the past few weeks, and I really apologize. And I thought you deserved an explanation. And I'm hoping that the explanation will be not only something you can learn from, but perhaps also something that's a little bit inspiring to you, I'm hoping. But I wanted, as you can probably notice behind me, my normal backdrop is a lot different than it used to be. It is empty, and that is because, and you may be able to tell by my voice, I am sitting in a completely empty house. We last week had an estate sale and sold everything we owned and a lot of things that other people owned that they wanted to get rid of. And we are, my husband and I, ready to hit the road and live full-time in an RV while we travel around the United States, visiting our kids and just seeing what there is to see while working on the road. And I'll tell you that I've learned a lot this summer about myself. We first came up with this plan quite a while ago, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I have to tell you that I learned a lot about stuff this last few weeks. And I mean the things that used to be on the shelves behind me, or at the end of the video I can walk you around and show you some of the other places that you would recognize in my house from videos that I've shot before. It's all stuff. And last week when we laid it all out on tables, we had unbelievable amounts of things that I paid really good money for a long time ago, or somebody else paid good money for. And I was putting it out on tables and hoping to get $1 or $5 for it. And it kind of made me really sick. It was fun to have I have a fresh slate now. I have completely empty space. I mean, we have the few things here and there that we haven't sorted out, or we're waiting for, a kid to come and pick up or something. So, but primarily everything's gone. And last week when I was haggling over prices with people for things that, at one point really meant something, or that had been given to me as a gift, or that I had thought were really cool, and now I couldn't get somebody to pay $1 for it, it made me realize how messed up it is that we sometimes work really hard thinking we need things. And the shelves behind me are a classic example. When we moved into this house, that shelving unit behind me was already here. It's part of the house. And I had filled it up with things that I liked, books. We didn't have a ton of stuff when we moved into this house. The kids are really small. And over the course of the years, I had to take my books down because people in my family or friends or whatever who like to decorate thought that it was really bad that I just had these empty shelves, or shelves that had things on them that were kind of ugly because they were books or whatever. And so gradually those shelves filled up with things that were really pretty. And I will say, I don't want to offend anybody who likes decorating, but they didn't mean anything to me. And so last week when I was selling a lot of things, people kept saying, "Isn't this really hard? Are you having a really hard time doing this?" And the truth was, no, it was very easy to do because it didn't mean anything to me. And so as you're growing your business, as you're looking for what really makes you happy, I just want to caution you, don't get caught up in the stuff, because it isn't really worth all that much in the end. Now, certainly there are things that I treasure that I have packed away and safe for when we decide not to be on the road anymore, but I really kept that to a minimum. So that was my first little cautionary tale. And what killed me was last week is not only that I was haggling with people for a few cents over this or over that, but the fact that the things I couldn't get rid of, it's costing me really a lot of money to dispose of via dumpster or getting a service to come pick them up or whatever. So not only could I not sell it, but I have to pay to get rid of it, and that seems so backwards to me. And so I'm kind of making a new, really conscious effort to fill my life with experiences and to only have meaningful things. If I'm going to spend money, to make it something that really means something to me. And so that's what I've learned over the last few weeks. But the good fun news, that's kind of like the not fun news, that's like the cleaning house thing. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting here on the floor because I had nowhere to put my tripod except to shove it in the cushions of a couch. So I'm sitting here on the floor, surrounded with almost nothing, But the exciting part is this is a realization of a dream that my husband and I have had for quite some time. As a matter of fact, in 2012, we took our kids on a 6-week road trip across the western United States, and we did it in a 19-foot travel trailer, which was being pulled by a Ford Flex. And we had all 5 of us in the Ford Flex with a lot of our belongings and a standard poodle. And we decided to go west during the hottest part of the summer, which I don't recommend. But we loved it. We loved being on the road. We loved being self-reliant. I worked throughout the trip. My husband was on sabbatical. And ever since then, we've known that that was the way we wanted to live our lives. So in the last 5 years, every single decision we've made has been with that goal in mind. Certainly we thought we would get on the road sooner than this, but the reality is the timing worked out perfectly for us. We have kids that are in college, and we will get to visit. We have one kid who goes to school across the country, and he will be a senior in high school, and we'll get to spend some time with him his senior year, which we're super excited about. But I wanted to point out that dreams are a lot of work, and sometimes I am not a patient person, and it can be really frustrating when dreams don't happen on the timing that we think that they should happen. And so even though, we're still going to be working on the road, and I'm sure there are a lot of mishaps that you will get to follow along with as we learn what it's like to work on the road, it's still kind of a dream come true for us that we're getting to do this. And it hasn't been easy. We've turned down jobs, both Brett and I. We've selected clients based on the fact that we wanted to be on the road. And I have designed my business to be completely mobile because this was the dream that we had. But the last few months have been horrible. Trying to get things packed up, trying to convince people who really love us and who we really love that this isn't a super selfish thing to do, because there are a lot of people who think what we're doing is really pretty selfish. And dreams have good parts, but they have bad and really, really hard parts too. And I would say that last week in the pouring rain, when I was standing outside trying to have an estate sale and get rid of all of my possessions, that was probably one of the harder parts of this whole process. And, it didn't go the way we wanted it to. And I'm sure it won't continue to go the way, or it will continue to not go the way we wanted it to. We had our house on the market for over a year trying to sell it, and it never sold. And so we decided to rent it instead. We, have been sorting through our things and deciding who's going to get what, which kid wants which items. Should it be in mini storage? We moved everything into mini storage, and then we moved everything back to our house. We have had to figure out, all of a sudden things start breaking that you need to have fixed before you can move out, and you really don't care anymore. You just want to get on the road. Figuring out basically how to fit all of our things into 1/10 of the space that we used to have, and have a way that both of us can work and be on phone calls and be running our businesses in the same 400 square foot space as our 2 standard poodles without being able to be heard on each other's calls. I mean, just stuff like that. But the reality is, even though this isn't exactly the way our original dream looked, and I'm sure we'll continue to figure out ways that we have to, modify our dream as we go, it's still pretty exciting. And so I ask for your forgiveness in the fact that I just have not been around as much as I would like to be. I did do a really awesome series. I know it's an awesome series on how to hire a VA, how to work with a VA, how to find a VA that will really, really treat your business as their own. And I did that at the beginning of the summer and put a lot of time and effort into it, knowing that the end of the summer was going to be really, really busy. So I'll put a link to the first blog in that series below. There's some really cool opt-ins that go along with it, like interview questions for VAs and some different really cool things like that. And I hope that you find value in that. I ask that you give me just a little bit more time. We do plan to leave town a week from Saturday, but there's quite a bit to do before then. I have, all of the move out things that normally go along with leaving your house to take care of. And so I'd love to talk to you and answer any questions you have about working on the road over the next few months. I'm still here. I will still be running Launch Tech Made Easy. I'm really looking forward to what's coming up and the launch that I'll be doing this fall and being able to teach a whole bunch more online business owners and their VAs how to launch a really fabulous business online and to get their businesses up and running and their launches in process so that you can follow your dream. And maybe it isn't living in an RV full time. It's probably not. I realize that that isn't everybody's dream. But whatever your dream is, I want to help you make that a reality. And so comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your questions are. You probably think I'm crazy for wanting to do this at all, but I'd love to reach out with you and talk to you and just kind of keep the conversation going about working on the road or hiring your team or even launching online. So stick with me. I'm here. You can reach out to me and I will respond, I promise. So go ahead and comment below. Click the link that I'll be posting below if you want more information about the Virtual Assistant series. And I will be back with new and fun things every week to come. Thanks. Bye-bye.